Just take a little colors. For you, you can use a pencil. I'm gonna try to see the hair. The head is about here, and roughly, and the feather, the back over here. I'm probably the leg here coming up. The leg come here, so that the black shape. You see, this whole thing is a one black shape, right? And there's a white here right in here, and coming down. This is almost like a drawing with the brush, right? And now I realize that the head is in the wrong place, so I'm going to draw it again. And coming over here, that is the mouth coming up over here, and like that. So now see, and now I know there's some area, some white. How do you do white in a watercolor painting? Because we don't have white. Do you know what? The paper is white. So if you don't do anything, that will be white. So it looks like it's a bit scary when you are doing the watercolor painting and without drawing with pencil. But it's okay. All right. You see the hard edge in the back over here? I don't want a hard edge. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make a very soft transition in the background, so that way it's not going to retain that much attention into the background area. I'm going to have a little bit more sharp edges, sharp changes on the main objects. So let's do it. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to use this to wet the background area. Let's see. I'm going to turn my head a little bit lower so I can see. Yeah. Be a little careful. If you wet the area supposed to be white, supposed to be protected, and the color, it may get into the area. It depends on how wet that paper. So I want to turn my head a little bit lower so I can see where the water is, right? I'm going to only need to do it from the top here. Okay, now I'm going to do the back. How I can mix that kind of gray color, really dark gray color. So I'm going to take the blue color and get some red. You know, the blue and red together is already very dark. So mostly when I mix the dark color, just use the red and the blue color. You know, blue and red mixed together, kind of purplish color. But I'm going to get a little bit more blue, a little bit more red color, and mix that together. There we go. I'm going to start from the top. See that? When you have a big brush, you can gain more time when you are painting. I'm going to painting around outside the white area. Okay, it's good. Like that. Coming down here. And going around here. That's good. My goal is try to keep that that's good. Now because of the wet, now it actually pretty soft, the transition. I'm going to put this on the side. I'm going to change that to my round brush. Now what I want to do, get a little red and mix it into this color. A similar color, what I want to do, I'm going to actually put it into this gap. It's easier to control with this smaller brush. But also I'm going to paint it into this, the neck. And also dark. Okay. The first step I have to do is to try to apply the message colors onto the paper, and then I can do the adjustment later. Now I put the dark color there. And now what I'm going to do, I'm putting dark color on the tail feather. I'm going to hit that. If less pink into the color can be a little darker. So I'm gonna start over here. See, I'm going to do a little dry brush, so I'm going to move it like that. Okay, that's pretty good. I want it to be even a little bit darker, so I'm going to get the red color in it and make the color even look a little bit darker. Now, there you go. And maybe a couple come out like this. That's good. And now I'm going to do something to the snow area. The snow is a little light, but have a little bit mostly little blue color. So I'm going to get this a little blue color in here. Here we go. Get out the water. Good. Now the front over here have a little bit more gray colors, but the gray color have warm and cool gray color, so have a little bit more like some brownish gray color, maybe a little bit like that. Try to make the feeling of still there the snows. Okay. That's for the front. Make it a little softer like this. And I want to get a little fresh blue color. This pretty fresh blue color somewhere over here. Okay, also squinting your eye from time to time. You can see how the things look in a big relating sense of a whole image, how they look like. I think there's a little bit too much here, so I'm gonna use the water just to make it a little lighter, a little softer. Okay, that's good. Have the sense of snow. I'm gonna have some noises at the bottom. So I'm gonna do this. If you have an old toothbrush you no longer use, and you can use it for watercolor. Okay, let's take a look. Maybe a little too much. If there's too much, we can use the big brush. Just remove it, tap tap, and get it out. Okay, now while we're doing all this, and the top over here getting dry, now we can come back to work on the top. Now first I'm going to have the perfect colors. You see that matching to the perfect colors. For the body, the shadow of the body over here, like this. And now if you want to have the transition a little softer, what you can do? Water. Water is the one to soften the edge. That's good. Now I'm going to have a little bit more like a light brown color over here. I'm going to add it a little bit for the details for the hair, a little bit over here. And with this same color, I'm going to paint it in a feather here. And actually on the mouth here also have the similar color, but a little more than that. Right? That's good. Now that's almost done. Now I'm going to add the very red. You see the red color over here? Before you going back to the original wells to pick up the fresh color, you look for around in the mixing color area. So it may be already there. So yes, I'm going to add a little bit darker. That's on the top. Okay. Now I do want a little more. I'll put it here. Like that. Now this is good. Now I'm going to add a little bit darker color right here. This pretty dark color. So in your vocabulary, there's only dark and light colors. Warm color, cool color, fresh color, dirty color. Okay, you don't have to have, oh, I need to have the black colors. Okay, no black colors. Okay, and the neck over here, I want to make this side look a little bit darker, so it's separated from the background color. Okay, now I'm going to add a little more color. That's the next good. I'm going to have the water, just the clean water, tap on it, so you have a little transition going through. Right, is that easy with watercolor? Actually, I can answer for you. Pretty easy. Is it? That's pretty easy. Too easy. You cannot believe it. Okay. Now I'm gonna put a little shape over here, just for the mount. That I'm gonna give a little bit warmer color here. The warmer color is mostly red and yellow. Now, like that. That's good, I think. And now I'm gonna paint it on the leg. Also dark colors. I'm gonna get these two colors mixed together, become a pretty dark color. Let's see. And we're gonna see. I'm gonna paint this side first. Here we go. Coming down. You can paint a little slower, and then there's a little knock, and ooh, a little bit too much to the left. What I want to do, I want to remove that color first, okay? And actually going too much to the left. So use the water as an eraser. Now I'm going to switch attention. I'm going to paint the other side first, and then come back, and then it will dry, right? Over here, where it's coming down, right here. And then have a little bigger, and then keep going, and then coming down, looking for the reference, looking for the direction. Good. Coming down like that. You can do that, right? It's pretty easy. You need to look and paint. And if you are drawing with me online, you would learn the same process. Look and paint. And that is look and draw. I'm gonna make it a little darker, so get a little. There's still the two colors, but with less water, the color darker. Okay, I'm gonna come back here. Now I'm gonna paint it over again, especially down here. Need to be darker. Okay, good. Now we'll come back to this side. It's already dry, so good. Coming down. Good. Now working on a little detail, and this side like that. Now it's good. I still have some black color, some dark color, sorry, some dark color. I'm gonna come back here to give a little bit detail for the feather. Like that, look and paint. Like that. I think the feather looks pretty good. It looks like that. And okay, we need to give a little bit more details on the body, but the color is not so light. So I'm gonna give a little bit here, like that. And that's good. Over here. And a little bit brownish color on the top over here, so you can see actually there's feather. And I want to soften this, make this a little bit lighter. Now seeing that is just, that's the white body. that is in the shadow side. Give a little blue color. Okay, I think this is good. I don't want to overdo it. Now at the bottom over here, we also have some feather over here. So I'm gonna suggest that as it connect to this side. Okay, I think that's pretty good. On the neck, on the head, we do need a little punch. This looks a little bit too light. That. We want the people looking at the head a little more. Okay, where the eyes? I think the eyes is right about here. And now let's see. I want to have the background to one more wash. I want that the top over here a little bit darker. So what I'm going to do is the last change. I'm going to have this one more. And if you do one more round of wash, the color guarantee is going to be darker because this is translucent watercolor. Every round of new color and it will merge into the existing colors. They're already on the paper. That's called translucent watercolor. Very different. Okay, good. Right. Have that little soft transition. I can move the color, make it a little softer. And on top over here, I do want a little fresh blue color, just the blue color. I'm gonna have this a little bit showing in the light snow area. A little bit on this side too. Like that. And on the front over here, give a little bit more. So that is gonna working around the different areas. When you come back at the end, you also want to make sure all the areas how they would connect together.